Hi, everyone, and welcome to our weekly tarot reading. So this is a gift to everyone, but for those of you who are members of unicornwellness.studio, it's another layer that a lot of you have asked me for, and we've just begun doing them. So I hope you're finding them helpful. As a member of unicornwellness.studio, you have the daily workouts that are written in connection and conjunction and in response to balancing the current lunar and the current general astrology. You have your monthly tarot reading there as a member, your new and your full moon readings there. You all can always book a private session with me, but this weekly reading has, again, it was requested quite a bit, and I thought, well, let's see how this goes. This is week 3 of adding these, so I hope that you're enjoying them. I'm doing them live because that way you all can ask questions at the end if you like, if you need, if you want to, and because it's a nice way to connect during the week. So on Mondays, we have this live tarot reading. It's also a beautiful way that if you're just poking around and you're lurking and wondering what unicorn wellness or I'm all about, it's a great way to get to know me and even the community. So if you're here in the room live with me, please post a little comment, say hi. Sometimes I don't always see the comment thread, and I always like to make sure that I can. So if you all say hi, then I know that that's rolling. Yay! Good morning, Jennifer. I see you. Okay, there are a couple of pieces. We'll do Tangent Tuesday tomorrow, clearly, obviously, on Tuesday. I am thinking of doing a Pisces season special for private readings. Pisces season is extra yummy to me. My moon's in Pisces. It becomes like really extra high, Angela, to get messaging. And so in these high times where the veil is like extra thin and my schedule allows, I like to do small sales. It'll probably be on the 3-card reading. I think it'll be like a $33 reading. They will all be offline. So I'm just going to drop that out there because that's literally brewing in the ethers, and hopefully I'll have it on the site by tomorrow's Tangent Tuesday for you all. But the energy's really, it's a little kooky, I will say that, but it's also pretty yummy. And there's a lot of healing, a lot of answers, and a lot of clarity offered right now, even though on a day-to-day level, I think it feels very Neptunian, very a little like, like very swimmy, a little underwater. Like, where are we? Where are we going? When is there going to be some air kind of thing? Hi. So here we go. I think that's the only like announcement for today. Yeah, I'm a little later than usual on Monday, but we don't have a set time for these exactly. Hi, Chris, yay! And what else? We had the week, my kids had the week off of school last week, so I feel like this Monday's like extra Monday. It's like cleaning everything up and kind of getting my brain back on and being more present for you all because they're back in school. When they're home, they have the focus, right? Okay, so today is our weekly reading for February 25th through March 3rd. Again, if you're a member of unicornwellness.studio, this will layer into the monthly, the new, and the full moon readings. If you're not a member, this works as a standalone, as a general reading. Hi, Brandon. Yeah, it's been kind of nutty lately, right? It's really good, is what I can say. There's so much energy and so many downloads, and I don't, you know, everybody's going to say something different, right? So I don't always mark myself as an astrologer. I study astrology, and we talk about the major placements of things, but I'm more of a channeler for the energy and how it comes through, and mostly through the cards. So it's super swimmy Pisces season in general. Usually in this season, I'm in bed and sick, a real testament to the unicorn wellness habits and tactics, and I'm practicing them diligently, and I'm going to have more about that for Pisces season in general on my Instagram live. But it's been a lot. Like, there's shifts and transitions, and even shifts from like last month of the direction we thought we were headed and where we were going, and it's not necessarily different. It's just like dreamier and needs a little bit more time to set. And there's more information coming in. So that was probably really unclear, and I'm sorry. But it does feel a little like, oh, can everybody just like a little bit of arm's length an arm's distance as we get into our own energy and listen for our own messaging. Energy healings right now, if you all do any Reiki, if you have someone that you go to, there's a lot to be offered there. And if you have someone who works in more like shamanistic schools, there's a lot offered right now in these sessions. I may be offering some sessions locally here in Brooklyn. I tend to only work on clients or best friends or family members, just because of that's what time allows, but it's loud and there's a lot to be gained and gleaned right now. It doesn't make complete sense, but there's a lot of illumination. So there. Okay, who else is here? Yeah, I mean, the energy's good. I'm not saying it's bad in the least bit. Hi, Paula. Yeah, it's just a big shift, you know, and in the Instagram lives, my commitment is to really try to be, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for you all over there and all the extras we can handle, because the energy is so full and the layers of it, it's going to always work a little differently for each person. The workouts on the site are such a grounding technique for all of us, and I write them very purposefully. So I think in particular in these seasons, water signs, that being on the mat is just unbelievably grounding for all of the psychic communication and energies that can come through. So get on the damn mat because it's really helpful to work your practices, more meditation, more movement on the mat. Okay. All right, here we go. So February 25th through March 3rd, I'm using the Nicoletta Ciccoli deck. I consider this to be like the Pisces Scorpio deck that I use. It's got a little extra magic for us in these seasons. So it's a 5-card reading in these lives. I'll go through the general for you. I also do a spirit in which to move through the week, which is like a super practical card. And today I chose as kind of a wild card, an extra one for the week, the Goddess's Oracle deck. And we'll work through all that, okay? So here we go. Yeah, if you guys, you know, questions, comments as we go, throw them out there. I love you guys. I do feel like I've been away for a while because my kids were home and it was a little quieter on my end. But this energy's got my brain in the ethers quite a bit of the time. So I don't feel as connected, which is not an uncommon thing right now. So meaning not as like grounded. I feel connected to you all. I'm very connected to spirit right now. So nice. Okay, here we go. So for this week, in this 5-card spread, the first card is really the energy of the week, kind of the overall, but it's where we're starting from and where we're rooted in. This is the 9 of Wands, okay? And in this deck, it's kind of, you know, this deck is interesting, right? It can be a little dark or feel a little creepy. I'm like, what does that mean? 9 of Wands, Wands are about bravery and courageousness, your willpower, your capacity to go and do and step forward in the world. It's a very masculine energy. But in this deck, it's like a little reclined, you know? So the traditional message of the 9 of Wands is that you will always have what you need when you need it. The universe provides. Like, the universe has got your back. Like, you have to trust and you have to surrender. And you're like, but that's kind of creepy. Like, is she getting attacked or what's the deal? Salamanders are firepower and they are regenerative. So this is kind of like about blending in for a little while. So the energy of this week to me and in this reading is already showing us like, lay low, lean back, a little bit of restoration and receiving and replenishing and filling up. Snuggling up with a good book is not a bad idea. And knowing that there is a bit of a phoenix effect getting ready to happen and literally being in the process of when the time is right, things will be revealed to you. So be brave and be courageous in your personal transitions, but also be brave and courageous in not doing a whole lot of sitting still, of reading a book, of exploring, of being in meditation, of journaling through things. That this 9 is about karmic closures. This is big time right now. I can't even tell you how big the capacity for karmic closures and burning karma right now is huge. Okay, but you have to be able to receive the messaging of it so then you can dig your way through the blessings of it, right? What is the lesson that we've learned? So this already, yeah, right, is like, just hang in there, lay low this week, know that the right things will appear when the time is right, that there's a lot of magic, because fire is magic, right? And there's this magical restorative, again, the salamander has a lot to do, very similar to the phoenix. It's just, I don't know, not as popular, its tail can come off and then it regenerates a new one. It grows a new one. So there's this bit of like writing a new story, like crafting a new tale, right? So hang in there. The energy of the week is not a go out and do, like, storm the castle kind of thing. This is a like sit, replenish, restore. Our energies are being so blasted right now. So I said it before the reading started that if we really get into the energetic healing available to us, because we're receiving so much on the astral realm, this is why Pisces season can tend to be like sleepless. Like everybody's like, I'm not sleeping so well, or I'm waking up every such and such. It's part of the deal because the astral plane is so active. We're passing, we're communicating, we're learning, we're getting downloads so that we can regenerate. Okay, so hang in there. That's good. It's good. Pink roses, sisterhood of the rose, lots of love, really finding a way to heal through love and restoration and self-care and receiving. Like this is, even though I know this is interesting, that 9 of Wands is masculine power, so solar energy, but there's a lot here that speaks to anchoring into lunar right now, of like listening, of just being calm, surrender and faith, and like not feeling like you have to do this week. Okay. Yeah. So hi, Cynthia, I see you. Okay. So here we go. So next steps in this week. Okay. The next steps is the 10 of Wands. Okay, so 10 of Wands, man, this is about how we carry our burdens, all right? So 10 is fresh starts and new beginnings. So here we go. It's like, we're going to go in order here. So we're going to start with the 9 of Wands, and we're going to really close some karmic cycles for ourselves in order to just march right on to the 10 of Wands. Okay, 10 is fresh starts and new beginnings. Now 10 of Wands classically is like, man, you are carrying your burdens and your wounds in front of you, and it's like laundry without a basket. You're dropping socks and you're tripping over stuff, and you lost a shirt back there, and oh wait, one of them didn't even make it into the wash, and then you stepped on it and it's even dirtier. So 10 of Wands is about no one leaves this life unscathed. We all have traumas, we all have wounds, and we all have burdens. And we are here to complete our karma and to burn our karma and to embark on a path of self-evolution, right? And learning and understanding and then alchemizing. So 10 of Wands is really about, like, you got this big old bundle and you're tripping over it. It's just kind of a mess, right? When you sit it down, so if we're going with the laundry, right? And you wash all of it, and then you go, wait, that's outgrown. Wait, that's not even mine. I'm going to return that to the person it belonged to. And then you fold everything and you get a little basket for it. But hey, this is like the super cool like basket that's really a backpack, but all of your laundry fits in it and it goes on your back. So then your burdens have been handled and sorted. You know that they're there. They are lighter and your hands are free to move forward in the world. So 10 of Wands is really about understanding how to carry your burdens and how to process them. That I'm big on healing, right? And I'm always big on the wounds. And right now we're working our way through healing the mother wound. And the next 8 years is going to ask us and tell us that we got to embark on healing the father wound. So we're in these big wound energies, right? Raw to our very guts of our souls in this incarnation. And we're being offered the opportunity this week to step into carrying them better, that they're lighter, that they're not as heavy, that you see the benefit in them, and that you really, that you really go, oh, this is how it's of purpose to me, and really learning to understand. So, this deck is always fascinating to me, right? She's got this like kooky little castle made out of like somewhat rotting vegetables and some not rotting vegetables, right? And she's walking her little scarab. Okay, so she's made a castle, right, out of uncommon things, out of things that maybe other people would have been, ew, or walked away from or felt were like not any good, right? But the spoon here denotes comfort, that there's something comforting in making your castle out of the uncommon things, right? The darkest places in our lives, the biggest traumas, the weirdest aspects, this is where the gold is for healing. This is where the true understanding is for our lifetime and for humanity. Like, you gotta head to the weird stuff, into the dark we go. And the more you can embrace it, she's walking a scarab. Can you guys see it? I'm trying to, so very Egyptian, right? Scarabs are the day bringers. So they bring the daylight, and they bring the new starts and the fresh beginnings and the potential and the possibility of going, I'm just going to start over today. So the next step in the week is just feeling this fresh, clean slate and being brave to repack and reorder your burdens. Because some wounds don't go away completely. Like, you can't make things disappear, but they don't have to drag you down. They can become lighter in your travels. And that's the goal, is to get the blessings. What did they teach us? How did we learn from them? What experience did we end up having because of that? How could we help? How can we teach? And how can we hold space for others? Because these really terrible things happened. On my Instagram profile, it's been really big this, lately, that I'm sharing more and more of my personal experiences, because otherwise they're kind of capsizing, that I've learned a lot because of all the things I've gone through. And hopefully that makes me of service to you all, right? That I can hold space, that I can understand, that I can go, you can get to the other side, because it's okay. It can be okay. And you're going to learn beautiful things out of it. And you'll even get to the point where maybe you can thank those crazy experiences, because you simply wouldn't be the person you are today without them. So the next step this week is this feeling of fresh starts and new beginnings, and like the burdens are lighter. That's a good week. Okay. Then, and hi, Tracy, I see you. How things are really going to shift this week. Okay. So remember, this is the weekly reading. We keep it within these 7 days. 2 of Swords. Okay. I love me some 2 of Swords. 2 is about balance. And in this deck, it's like so literal, right? She's walking on a tightrope. And it's really like, just go one step at a time. That things shift in a big way this week, just by being careful, one step, lightly, then another, lightly, in balance. Okay. So the traditional meaning of this card, swords are about your intellect, your acumen, and your thought process. This has a lot to do with our words, our thought patterns, like what we think, the internal dialogue. But in readings with me, it's just gotten more and more and more about the subconscious patterning, because the subconscious patterning is the dark. That's where the healing occurs. And the subconscious patterning of the way we navigate is more challenging to heal and often to pinpoint, but it's where the gold is. I always say that the subconscious is really what's driving the bus. That is the programming that's really moving things along. So when you can get into the real transition and healing of the subconscious wounds and the subconscious thinking patterns, man, you transform your life. So this week, again, look at all the blue, all that Pisces energy, all that swimmy, foggy, celestial, watery, psychic messaging that's available. This card is always a call to meditation, okay? But it offers us so much in this transition of our subconscious patterning, but you gotta go slow. So we can have illuminations, right? And we can have downloads, and we can get clarity in all the different ways that we can. And we go, healing, this is the path to healing. But remember, once that moment of clarity happens, that's the instigation of the healing. You're not there just yet. So go slow, go careful, right? Because if you start to move too fast, you lean too far one direction, you're kind of done for. So this week is very slow, very thoughtful, very, you just keep hearing slow. I'll just keep repeating that. Like patience, 1 foot, don't go, just don't hurry. Don't hurry. Don't hurry your magic. Don't hurry the healing, okay? The subconscious patterning is being allowed a big opportunity of transformation and transition in this this week, but in this Pisces season. So just, keep working the daily practices, keep listening, and just go slow. Okay. assets to the situation. I love this. This is 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is, again, we're back to swords, but the 8 of Swords is really about your fears, right? 8 is a number of empowerment. So when we're really honest about the things that we are fearful of, or that we are scared of, and here we go again, like, it's like the messaging is never wrong. And in the cards, in my channeling, whatever, like whatever's coming through, it's really loud about what our fears are. So Instagram last week too, on my feed, I talked about the fears. Like, I have learned big time that the things that I'm like, ooh, oh, really? I don't want to do that. Or I feel like weird about it, like it's going to be judged, or I am fearful of, that is literally the universe putting a flag in the ground and going, you better head that direction. That's the direction to go for empowerment, because as we conquer our fears, right, we feel empowered, and the things that we're afraid of ultimately are never nearly as bad as we thought. So 8 of Swords is usually, hi Sue, often about our childhood fears, okay? That I always explain it as like kids sitting in their room and there's a weird shadow on the wall and they're like, oh my God, it totally looks like somebody's in my room, or there's a monster in the closet, right? And then someone comes in and turns on the light, and it's a hanger with like an outgrown shirt and a scarf that's tattered and a mitten we don't even know who it belongs to. And we're like, all those things need to be donated, right? And then there's really nothing there when the lights go on. So this is in the assets category, meaning that so many of us in the unicorn community have really conquered some childhood fears, that we realized the things we were terrified of, that they didn't belong to us, or they were false paradigms, or there was false patterning, these subconscious things that get stacked down, that we go, oh, that actually was a fear of childhood. It's not real, and I'm not scared of it anymore, and I'm not carrying it around. So this denotes healing, right, of our fears. But there's a double whammy of, yeah, okay, I hear you, of messaging of that. Look at the things that you fear right now. And that doesn't have to be epic. That doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be epic. It can be big things. There can be financial fears. Emotional fears of loss and limitation. But these are mostly what I hear because of empowerment is that you're afraid of announcing who you are, or of transitioning into another career, or a hobby that you'd like to make a career later on. That this always kind of resides around spiritual messaging, or people thinking that you're losing your mind, right? That you're leaving a really stable, consistent job for something more artistic or heart-centered or passion path. That please hear this as an asset, that it's really time. That's a flag in the ground. That's the universe calling you, and that you won't feel true empowerment. There will not be true transition until you really do the things that scare you a little bit constructively, right? So there's some empowerment here already because of childhood wounds being healed, or going, oh, wait, that wasn't really what I was worried about. Oh, that fear wasn't mine. That was my mom's or my grandmother's, or like, oh, that didn't belong to me. That's okay, I can give it back. But there's also an extra flag in the ground right now of you all are hearing paths to walk down, and you are really resisting it. Don't do that. It's supported. And I love this card because I have a thing for bunnies, and so does my youngest son. Like rabbits, they're a sign of fertility and abundance and prolific, contribution. So it usually denotes, financial abundance too, reward coming back for being brave and for giving and being loving. Rabbits they're sweet, but their hearts beat really fast. They have these tiny hearts, right? So like by giving your gifts and being creative and prolific, there will be a return from it. So be brave, because there's empowerment to be had there. Yes, it's always about facing the fears, right? Like always. So if you can recognize that something is like, oh, and it's not always fear also. It's also the things that you're like, are you kidding me? Especially as you head into more messaging and more receiving of messaging, it can sound like crazy pants. Like it really can start like, oh, that's what I need to be doing for real? But trust it, right? Because those are messages from the ethers. They're divine, they're protected, they're important, and they're good. So yes, recognize where your fears are, but also recognize where there's some judgment of like embarrassment. Like if you had to tell people this is really, that you go, really? Okay, you know, like that's a big one for me. So there you are. So the outcome of this week, it's a good week. It's a really good week. This is Six of Cups, okay? Six is the number of love. Cups are about emotions and faith and love, because love is the one true emotion that heals all. But cups are often about miracles and faith in love, right? And faith in the flow, okay? And so this can be a version of the Lover's card in a lot of ways, but this to me is always, you're kind of falling in love with yourself, and you're also falling in love with the dark side of yourself. Meaning you're starting to really integrate light and dark, shadow, right? And going, oh, where all those wounds and all those weird pieces are, the icky bits that I just don't like to share with people, or that I'm flat out ashamed of, or that my internal self is just judgy of, that we're starting to go, maybe we'll just take a look and go, oh, because look, this is also, it's serpentine, but it's also a little salamandery with butterfly wings. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll take a photo of this layout and post it on Instagram so you guys can see it for the week. But the outcome of the week is more flow, more love, more acceptance, but it's always of self, and it's always of the dark side of the self. Family secret. I hear family secrets, family things that were just odd and awkward or hidden, or somebody was doing the very best they could, but they made some major mistakes along the way. Like this week offers us an integration and therefore love, because we're both sides, right? That's beautiful. Okay. Let's go to the spirit in which to move through this week. I'm laughing at this too, because I pulled it out and I went, oh, okay. That it's a mystery, right? We started off by saying that it's all this Pisces energy. There's a lot of transition. It's got this Neptunian aspect of like, where are we going? And when will there be air? And is my tank going to make it, like being underwater, right? And so the spirit in which to move through this week is to embrace the mystery. We don't know right now. We're not totally certain. We can point our fingers and go, I'm aiming at that. This is my goal. This is my intention. This is the thing that I want to manifest. But how that's going to happen and the route that it's going to take, instead of being in a snow globe this week, it's almost like being in a water globe, and like allow it to be mysterious. Embrace not knowing how or why, and stick to the self-care of getting anchored and grounded through our movements on the mat at unicornwellness.studio, and then really your own meditation practice, readings, Reiki, big time, because the energies are just so available right now. So live in the mystery this week. And I would really encourage that is like not just doing nothing, but really exploring. If you're not one that usually asks questions in meditation or asks questions of your guides and guardian angels, start asking. Like, be the active, like, try to solve your own mystery, right? So really get into what are the wounds, like what are the wounds that are preventing me from moving forward in this space, or where do I really need to be putting my efforts, and be really open to the weird answers that may come through. This is a time to really ask before bedtime for dream time messaging, because it's so like loud on the astral plane right now. So embrace the mystery, but also try to solve your own mystery this week in quiet contemplation, in readings, in Reiki, in self-care and self-healing. Okay. Yeah, it's really nice, Brandon. It's really beautiful. It is very swimmy, and it feels a little dark, and it's very like depths of the ocean, but there are great mysteries, right? And there are beautiful things down there, and there are things we've never seen or explored, right? So this is a week of delving into your own personal mystery and understanding there's even more, and like, hey, what's down there? I've had some personal things illuminated that, it's like, oh, that's not a surprise, but I didn't see it or hear it that way before, and some extra messaging. You're like, whoa, okay, that was another layer. All right. And then this week, the goddess to embrace or to call upon this week or to anchor into is Athena. Hello. Inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Now, I'm going to show you the card, and then I will read from the booklet also because it always gives us more. This week has already, I want to be clear, right, that the reading this week says don't take action, right? There's not a lot of doing that needs to be done. And I hear it in this card as you need to take action in the way of delving into your own mystery. It's a very contemplative, exploratory, illuminating time this week. So it's about reading, it's about meditation, it's about prayer, it's about journaling, it's about channeling, and it's really about that kind of action taking this week. So it's not like, again, please don't go storming the castle of changing, like don't quit your job this week, but be open to hearing what the next steps are and how to transition out of it, and like, hey, what's my real passion path? Like that may very well come through also. Okay, Athena. Messages from Athena. I'm happy to assist you. However, you'll be most thrilled when you first consult your own inner bank of knowledge. For I assure you that this situation is already resolved and that you have access to all the wisdom that the universe supplies. To access this wisdom, you must quiet your mind. Hello, meditation and nap time. Surrender all worries and other concerns to the loving and almighty power of the universe. Close your eyes and note the thoughts and feelings that come streaming into your consciousness. If you like, you can ask me to give you a signal that you've heard your inner wisdom correctly. But have faith, I assure you, that you have heard and that the guidance brings you and your loved ones very good news indeed. Various meanings of this card. Stop procrastinating. Stop giving away your power to others. Trust your gut. Don't second guess yourself. You are correct. Notice recurring ideas and take action on them. About Athena. Athena is a powerful and wise Grecian goddess who oversees and protects those who call upon her. She's the daughter of Zeus, and her power animals are white owls and black pigeons. Although Athena is a warrior goddess, she does battle with wits instead of weapons. You can call upon her for resolving disputes and also for protection. In addition, Athena helps with creative projects such as writing, arts, and crafts. It's a good week, y'all. That's what I got to say. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful week. Okay, so if you all have quick little questions or comments, you're welcome to drop them in here. I will take a photograph of the card layout. I will post it on my Instagram account so you can go look at it if you like to see the full layout. And that way you can refer back to it during the week. Please always remember to like the videos if they help and they call to you and you love this work. Please share them. It's really important to Unicorn Wellness and its growth and its survival and thrival. If you all, I love you. If you all are interested in booking a private session with me, the links will be below and they're definitely here on the channel at tandygutierrez.com. And if you weren't here at the very beginning of the reading, I am going to do a special for this Pisces season. I think we're going to do a 3-card, like $33 reading. They'll all be offline. But because there's so much to pull out of this season, I want you guys to have access to it in a really like easily accessible way. Okay. And if you're interested in movement patterns and daily practices with me over at unicornwellness.studio and below, I always leave a promo code so that you can experience 30 days as a guest. Okay. I love you all very much. I will have tomorrow, I'll be here at 10 a.m. That's always on time for Tangent Tuesday. And we'll see what comes through that needs to be shared and really worked through this week. But this is a beautiful reading. So have like such a blessed week and thank you for being here. I'm going to check the comments real fast. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Yeah, Tracy, just from our communications, it does feel like right on track, right? Oh, Jennifer, thanks. Paula, I love you too. Oh, Chris, I'm so glad you guys like these weekly readings because as a community, like we're literally scattered all over the world, and they really do seem to have a beautiful little momentum to them. And so, yeah, I love reading for you all, and it's a blessing to be able to bring through the messages. So every layer, you know, and the more particular and detailed we can get, the better our path and the better supported it is. So I love you all, and I will have this posted super quick, and I will see you tomorrow if you're going to join me for Tangent Tuesday, and if not, I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.